If you're a designer like myself, at one point in your life, you've probably had to try and explain what design is to a close family member or friend, which is kind of harder than it seems. I actually found a good definition of design through Merriam-Webster, which is to create, fashion, execute, or construct according to plan. While I like this definition, I've spent some time thinking about this myself. What I usually say is that design is to intentionally create something to solve a problem within a set of constraints. If the problem is, I'm finding myself sitting a majority of the day, but I still need to work, then the solution could be the standing desk. I'll give you another example in the digital space. If the problem is, I need to talk to my doctor, but I can't leave my apartment, the solution could be telehealth, which is the ability to video conference call your doctor through your phone. Just like designers solve problems for our everyday challenges, you, an individual, can also be thinking about how to apply this idea to your life and career. A few weeks back, I joined a training called Design to Be, which is an 8-week EQ program for designers. If you're not familiar with the term EQ, it stands for Emotional Intelligence, which according to Wikipedia is the ability to understand, use, and manage your own emotions in positive ways to relieve stress, communicate effectively, empathize with others, overcome challenges, and diffuse conflict. With this training, we spent each week thinking deeply about how to design a career filled with more meaning and purpose. So, if the problem is, I don't know what the next steps are to advance my career as a designer, then the solution could be to take a training like Design to Be. And I'll be honest, I'm someone who already spends a lot of time thinking deeply about my career in this way, but the founder of Design to Be, Rachel Wiseman, reached out to me about taking this training at a discounted price to share my experience with how it went. So I said yes, and I joined in for the first ever cohort. Since I just wrapped up the course this past week, I wanted to share with you 3 lessons I learned from the training that are helping me to think more intentionally about designing my design career. First is meditation. During the first week, we talked about meditation as a tool which can help lead to more mindfulness. And being mindful means paying attention to what's happening in the present moment, in the mind, in the body, and in the external environment with an attitude of curiosity and kindness. Becoming more mindful is especially important when you consider what the effects of not being mindful has on the body. For example, the fight or flight response, that's a part of the sympathetic nervous system, is not designed to last for more than 30 minutes, and beyond that can be damaging. So the more work you can do with yourself to recognize what that response physically feels like, what it sounds like in your head, and what triggers it, the faster you can learn to settle the response down, recover, and grow. I've dabbled in meditation over the last few years and have really enjoyed learning more about it. I know that practicing meditation has made a positive impact on my life, and this training has helped re-energize that interest for me. I'm feeling inspired to make it a regular ritual again, especially now that I'm working remotely and know conflict can be more challenging when you're not in person to sort things out. During the second week, we specifically talked about self-awareness, and I learned about an idea called alarm clock events, which I found to be really interesting. The idea is simple, but it's that certain situations and events can open our eyes to new self-insights. There are new roles or rules, which can be triggered by being asked to play a new role or being introduced to a new set of rules to follow. There are earthquake events, which happen when significant events shake you to your core, and everyday insights, which are really just ordinary situations where we can discover new things about ourselves. By using this framework and being introspective, you can start to learn more about yourself and what values are important to you in your career. So maybe next time you're at work and you find yourself really excited about something, maybe try journaling about it. It could potentially help you unlock something foundational to what you really deeply care about. And lastly, we had an interesting conversation around motivation that really clicked for me. There's this idea coined by Daniel Pink, who is an American author, that there are 3 levels to motivation, and that the 3rd level, motivation 3.0, is what it takes to motivate people in the 21st century. Simply put, motivation 3.0 is intrinsic motivation. It's the inner drive to grow and learn, which leads to passion and dedication. Intrinsically motivated people do not need to be directed or rewarded because they enjoy working and doing so voluntarily without demanding anything in return. I can personally reflect on this idea and can say that I definitely look for companies to work with which share values and get me excited about contributing to something greater than myself. It makes me feel energized. I think motivation 2.0, which is extrinsic motivation, like a salary, is an important ingredient to any professional relationship. But I think that it's true that although extrinsic motivation is what will initially secure the beginning of a new job, supporting people with their passions and treating them like humans and not a number on a spreadsheet are what will create longer lasting relationships relationships, trusted teams, and ultimately is much more beneficial for the company's future. Maybe unsurprisingly, this framework correlates really well with the famous Maslow's hierarchy of needs. Anyway, I love learning about what drives people and have a lot more reading up to do on this topic. I've just scratched the surface. I hope this video has been helpful for you in thinking more intentionally about designing your design career. I'd love to hear in the comments what drives you. What events have happened recently that led to some sort of new self-insight? What sort of career do you want for yourself? If you haven't already, don't forget to like this video. If you enjoyed it, subscribe to my channel for more videos about design and career, and I hope to see you in that next video. Bye for now.